welcome to the Buff Potato. My name is Abongile, and today we'll be doing an audio review. Why? Because we had technical difficulties. Those difficulties were, technically, we couldn't get the camera to work. Today we'll be doing a review of Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is the origin story of the superhero Wonder Woman, or Diane Prince, who one day discovers a person infiltrating the island which is inhabited only by women who claim to be cloned by the Greek gods. Wonder Woman discovers this man, takes him to shore, has the whole "are you an angel" scene. They don't really say that, but it kind of looks like that. Anyway, this person is being pursued by German soldiers, and from that point a mini war breaks out, and something tragic happens in this mini war, something that might be the cause for Wonder Woman going into civilization and trying to stop the force that might be at works within this war. Now, going into this film, a lot of fans were and hoping for something good, and I think in the back of their minds they kind of thought it was gonna suck. I won't lie, I kind of thought it was gonna suck too. I even put it in my potential flops. It wasn't a flop, and I remember I did say potential flop, and at the end I did say that these movies could be good, and I was talking about Wonder Woman when I said that. The other films, okay, let me not say anything yet, but anyway, I thought the movie was pretty good. I thought it was enjoyable, especially in the second act. The second act was really nice. The first act was your typical origin story, quite simple. She's a kid, she's learning about ideals, and, she escapes, her island so she can discover, what's, causing this war, and probably even discover herself. The second act was more entertaining because it had more content to work with. At the end of the second act, it gets more political, but at the beginning, you introduce this kind of fish out of water type of story, which I thought was a little too much. There were instances when she didn't feel comfortable in dresses because they weren't made for war. And if you go back to the mascara, a lot of the women there were wearing dresses that weren't made for war. She was even confused at revolving doors, which I think if you look at the mechanics of a revolving door, I think you would kind of understand. I thought they made her seem a little too primitive. She was also carrying around her sword and her shield, which I thought was a little weird, but that's just nitpicks. Aside from that, the second act was very enjoyable, actually. It was closer to being a war film than being a superhero film. There's also an awesome scene that has something to do with No Man's Land. No Man's Land being a battleground where, people don't cross. There's a cool scene that happens there, then there's some cool fight scenes, and then the third act, that's when it all goes wrong with this movie. The third act kind of turns into this CGI hectic mess of a movie, and I thought the revelation of the villain was a little too rushed, or maybe not rushed, maybe a little too kind of unnecessary. It was, there was the Ares wasn't your typical villain that was like, I'm just here to destroy. I mean, he had his own ideologies that had something to do with humanity for why he was doing what he was doing. But aside from that, I didn't find him necessary, just like the other villains. There's a Dr. Poison too. She also was quite, she was so annoying. They might have called her Dr. Poisinio. It felt like she felt like a clumsy type of villain. Probably didn't belong there. Probably belonged in like Austin Powers or something like that. Aside from that, the third act was a little too CGI for me. The lasso of truth was a little too shiny, and it felt a little too rushed. But the first and second act were probably the reasons why I didn't enjoy the third act. They were so good that I was hoping for something better in the third act. And also, quickly, something happens that I really don't like in a lot of animes and a lot of films when superheroes just get a major power up out of nowhere and the supervillains get a major power down out of nowhere. That happens a lot in films, and I'm really not a fan of that. I apologize if that was a spoiler for those who thought it was a spoiler, but it has nothing to do with the main villain. Aside from that, a very enjoyable film, a very colorful film. It looked very good. Gal Gadot's performance was really nice, and I enjoyed it for the most part. And because of that, in the Buff Potato, we decided to give Wonder Woman a 7.9 out of 10, which is not a bad score. Those who think it's too low, I'll tell you why. It's because of the third act and because of some nitpicks on the first and the second act. And I feel that, it's a good score. So anyway, that has been the Buff Potato, and this has been the audio Buff Potato review. If I spoke too fast, I apologize. I had a lot to say about this film. Maybe when I review a movie like Baywatch, you'll get a shorter review because there's really not that much to say about that. And please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can comment down below and tell us what you thought about Wonder Woman. Tell us if you're looking forward to the next Wonder Woman film, or if Wonder Woman has actually made you look forward to the Justice League film. Comment down below there, and we'll check you later.